Hey guys, hope everyone is doing alright. Welcome to Watchmen Waiting on the Lord. I have a few messages today, and before I get to those messages, I want to say some things. At the very end, if you want to see that project I've been working on for some time, I put quite a few hours into it. And I'm still not done, but I'll show you that at the end. It's that big castle that I've been building. I've been building it with wood glue, some super glue, and anyways, so thought I'd show you that at the end. But I really want to make these videos. I really do. My back is out. It's out. Like, I'm getting an MRI today, and guys, I need your prayers for this. I went to a physiotherapist and I said, well, what do you think is wrong? And so she highlighted about 5 or 6 different places. So it's torn in 5 or 6 different places, and I'm about to find out if it's my discs. I don't know. I hope it's not. I hope it's just torn. But you don't want to make a video when you're like this. Like I don't know. I would say it makes me very irritable. It's like right now it's easily a 9 on 10. I'm sure many people would call this a 10 on 10. And so I continued to do push-ups and all that type of stuff, but I've stopped doing that and started to do other stuff. I was more afraid of I live alone. I'm low weight. I have a lot of stuff I have to do in my life, and so I'm like, I need to stay strong. I need to stay all that type of stuff, but I realize I have to stop that. Sometimes you have to realize your limitations, right? And I'm that type of person who just likes to keep doing and going and moving, and so yes. I'm asking you to. I want to tell you just a short little thing. Someone messaged me and then told me they're doing something. A woman named Allison messaged me, and by the way, I'm gonna leave my my email. I'll try to leave it in every single video. So if you want me to pray for you, if you want me to pray privately or on video, I can do either one. Depending on what it is, and obviously I can't answer everyone, try to get to everyone, but Allison, I need a lot of prayers for this one. If I remember the email correctly, she said, this is amazing, okay? She said, Yahweh, if you can help clean my mind and my life up, that was the gist of it, then I will bear my cross, literally. I will take my cross, a real cross, a big cross, and I will walk across North America. If I can get that video, I found where it was, because not all my messages go to my Gmail, because usually my messages show up on my Gmail. That's how I see them. But I didn't see that when I looked back, so I had to go back and look for it. And I looked down the video, and although the camera shot wasn't that good, and Allison, if you're watching me, you got to make that that video a bit better, right? Allison's walking with a big cross. From what I could see, it was about 6 feet tall anyways. Don't hurt yourself, by the way. Don't hurt your back. But guys, I did a similar thing. I've told you guys this, right? I bore my cross, I guess you could say. I biked for my mom when she had cancer. I biked 1,000 kilometers in 10 days, and so it's that type of thing. It's that type of passion, and she's doing that. She's going to walk across North America. She's in the midst of doing that right now, so she needs your prayers. So God bless you, Allison. So I'll get into my topic, and I'll try to remember to show you my castle. I'm in so much pain. You get super irritable. Like I said, pain dementia. When it's that bad, you start forgetting a lot of stuff. So when I realized I had to do this prayer to ask you guys to pray for Allison, I literally had to put a sticky note and put it on my camera because I knew otherwise I'd forget. Likely. So I got to lie in an MRI. Those things don't worry me. But my back is super bad today. Okay, so what's today's topic? Today's topic is important. I'm also going to get to a verse in Scripture to make you understand. Okay, so I'll approach two topics. I'll do a Scripture, and then I'll show you my castle. So, and actually the second thing I'm going to talk about has to do with my castle. You'll see why. I notice since I really am trying to heal my back that things keep falling on the ground. So, it makes me, I don't want to go pick them up. Stretch my back. Okay. I'm gearing this to people who are, and I don't know, I doubt that anyone 15 years old, maybe even 13 years old, to 20, let's say 25 years old, but this message goes to the rest of everybody. If you're in a position where you're being peer pressured or just the way things are around your group of friends, people are smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, even getting into higher things, PCP, cocaine, ecstasy, those types of things. If you're getting into alcohol was the one I was going to talk about. If you're doing these things because everyone else is doing them, it's the wrong way to go. I should know because I grew up in a time when it was the early 90s. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all these things. We didn't have computers, not at that time. Not till more in the mid to late 90s, and they weren't that great. But a lot of people smoke cigarettes. A lot of people. It surprises me how many when I look back now. I instantly took to smoking. I remember the first thing I smoked was a Marlboro cigarette. The first cigarette, it was American Marlboro. It was like, I almost puked. But somehow, I remember taking Rothmans from my parents. I stole them from my dad. It was a carton, and that's how my habit began. I haven't smoked for, I don't know what it is, more than 10 years anyways, a lot more than 10 years, on a chronic basis. In between, years ago, I had just small amounts. that had to do with another issue. So no, I haven't smoked for, let's just say 14 or 15 years. But I did. I smoked for almost 20. Pretty heavy smoker. But these things, never be pressured into them. And if you are, and you're smoking now, the best thing you can do for yourself is stop. Why am I the person to bring this message to you about alcohol and drugs? Stop smoking weed. You know what that did to me? At first, I felt all good and stuff like that. But it got to a point where I was really paranoid and I wasn't myself. I probably even went into some psychosis from using it too much while I was on it. It was like what would you call it? Like a temporary psychosis. I got into drugs. I got into LSD. I was doing what all those people were doing. That's what a lot of people around me were doing. I'm not ashamed to say so. The only one who justifies me or you isn't your friends. It isn't your family. It's Yahweh, God, Jesus Christ. I went the wrong way. I did all the wrong things. I got into crime when I was younger. I did some bad stuff. You know, like not hurting people. Hurting people, it ended up hurting people, but I didn't like hurt physically people. That's not what I mean. I was stealing stuff, stealing cars, stealing that type of stuff, okay? And I got in trouble a few times. This is where this all led. I was a person who was rebellious. I had trauma early from a single event, which I've never spoken. I'm not going to speak about. But from that point, I just didn't feel the same person. I have autism too, and other mental health disorders. So I got into all this. I got into the wrong stuff. My point: don't be that person. Your life can be so much better away from that stuff. And these days, like where I'm living here in Canada, I remember Justin Trudeau, he got into office on the promise, like this is what swayed the vote, on the promise of legalizing marijuana. We knew it was coming anyways, but he did it just to get votes. I knew the people would argue for years and years until the studies actually came out that said people are worse off, there's more psychiatric hospitalizations, all this. I'm like, I knew this, you know, like I lived this. No one who smokes weed is any better. You're not better, you're not faster, you're not a better thinker. You can argue with me, but I don't think so. Although I had lots of friends, I always felt that difficulty speaking, in case you've seen my video for the first time, and a lot of pain besides just my back. Although I had a lot of friends, even I had a lot of girlfriends, I wasn't the best socially. I wasn't, and especially with, I'd say, women, but unless I really got to know you. And so what did I do? By the way, I stopped doing crime. I stopped doing that by the time I was like 17 because I realized if I kept going, I would end up in jail. Here's my message about this. Alcohol. I started to use alcohol when I was probably 14, 15, just like a lot of other teens, going out in the woods, having bush bashes, you know, big bonfires and stuff like that, going to quarries and by the river, and I used it socially. And that's how I socialized with my friends about I'd say half the time. I was the type of person who partied deep into the morning, right? Real late into the morning. And I was the type of person that hated when a party ended. I really hated it. And I have a form of bipolar disorder, which means I could go for days. And I did stuff like that. It's the wrong way to go. It's the absolute wrong way to go. The only thing, take a look at the world right now. There's so many lonely people. There's so many psychologically ill people. I would say 1 in 4, if not 1 in 3 people are mentally ill today. Why? Ideologies coming from Hollywood, the music industry, the way, it's like you see pictures and it's always pretty women, all this stuff. This isn't the way the world really is. It really is not that way. You're better to get ahead by not engaging in these things, turning them off, studying. Get ahead of your friends. Don't engage in that stuff. What you should be doing is going out with them to play sports, to go out to good places, to learn how to do things. And like I'll show you in the end there, the thing that I'm building. Pardon me just a second, I have to pace because of my back. And why did I do those things? Why did I steal cars? Why was I stealing and doing all that type of stuff? Because I wasn't diagnosed with autism. That's part of it. I didn't know what was happening to me. Because as you grow older, when you get to about 12 or 13 years old with autism, a lot of stuff changes. I couldn't focus in class. And the year of my high school, there were a lot of bad people there. There were a lot of bad people in the school. And anyway, so because I couldn't focus, I took my energy elsewhere, where, like people with autism and anybody, but especially with people with developmental, like ADHD, that type of stuff, give them something to do like that, or like biking, or like tennis or something like that, and they can excel. My main message is that this was supposed to be about alcohol, okay? And stop drinking alcohol for social reasons. Stop smoking weed for social reasons. If you smoke weed for social reasons, you're going to get worse for sure. That's what I believe. And through my journey in life, the people I remember in my high school, a lot of those people who smoked weed now have schizophrenia. Think about that. You don't think that's possible? Marijuana can put a person in a trip. You don't believe me? Do you know that marijuana is a hallucinogenic, just like LSD is? I bet you didn't know that. That's why they put people in psychosis. That's why in the bottles it says danger, psychosis. I was using CBD. I still use CBD vapor, but only for my sleep. So the moment I go to bed, I use it. I use a very small amount. It's got next to no THC in it. And but that's for my pain, so I can sleep. Because I have the worst pain disorders on earth. And it's very tough to sleep, so I use that. But nothing during the daytime. I had to quit. You know why? You may say, well, CBD doesn't get you high. Me, it did. Me, it did. And I got caught in that. I got caught in it, just like I did when I was younger and smoked weed. It lasted quite some time. I wouldn't stop because it was helping a lot of my pain, and I was justifying. And I took it away, and I found out I was just so much better. And the truth is, I really can't sleep that well without it. But what was the second? I have a second message. So this is for young people. And then the main message on that is my channel is a Christian channel. Okay, I want you to read the Bible, because the only person who justifies you isn't alcohol and your friends. It's Yahweh, God, who does. And Yahweh is Jesus Christ, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. If you can get yourself to the place, and I still suffer with this a lot, but not like I used to. Oh, I worry that this person doesn't like me, or why does this person do this to me or that? The only person who justifies you is Yahweh. It's the only person who justifies you. It may take a while to get there, but if you keep reading the Bibles, because Scripture, the Old and New Testament, are one continuous story. They're one continuous story. Don't think that there's a big difference. There's a new covenant, but it's still the same God. I'll try to make a good thumbnail for this. I don't know, like, there's an intertwining message in this, and I've started to write down video, like, because I'm always like, okay, that would make a good video, and then I forget, so I write them down. I dealt with this, and I'm sure a lot of you people dealt with this too. Just give me a sec. It has everything to do with what I've been talking about. It could depend what friend circle you're in. It could depend the family. Family's a big thing. Could be your dad, could be your mom, could be your brothers and sisters, depending on what they're like, but it could be your friends. Don't let people dissuade you away from your goals that you have in your mind. So if you want it, I've lived this, okay, to come out on top, many times on top, but it wasn't always like that. You see, my parents were more, I felt like they were kind of more to be feared, okay? Good parents, but more to be feared. And there was a lot of criticism, okay? So it was hard to, if I had an idea or something like that, and there was a lot of criticism. Oh, maybe, this could happen, or caution, right? And so, don't let anyone tell you that the goals that you have in your mind cannot be done. Start them and complete them. And do that with the faith that you can do it through Jesus Christ. I use interchangeable, okay? Yahweh, Jesus Christ. I just use the two of them. I remember growing up, like I lived at home for quite some time, and I only moved out once for a short period of time, and I stayed there till I was almost 40 years old because I was so sick physically. and I couldn't take care of myself anymore. And so a lot of my life, my parents were critical. My parents were critical people. And whenever I wanted to achieve something, that's why, I don't know if you see a lot of these Christian channels telling you, don't let, I don't know what they say, what would they say? Keep things secret. Don't tell people what you're doing. Just keep it secret, do it. And let what you do, what is done afterward, to show for it, show for itself. And then you will shine. You'll shine. And just keep doing that. And keep doing those things. There's a lot I could tell you about my life that I went through, other than physical pain. I went through a lot of stuff. I took the wrong way. I took the wrong way, like in the worst types of ways. And so this is my message to you. What else do I have to say? Because I really want to, I want to get to that, and then I'll show you the castle. This verse, give me a second so I can pace. My back is so bad. I went on a walk last night with my dad, about 6K. I don't know if it's setting off my back. I think it's too high to set it off, but I can't tell. I went to physio. I walked away a lot worse. She pressed on my back so hard. About an hour later, because I was feeling well that day. Anyways, I'm not going back there because of that. Give me a sec. I don't know if you can see, but I'm like, she printed this out, and she feels my back to try to map out where my back is torn. And this is an epidemic. This is a pandemic. This is probably worldwide. But I'll say that in a sec. So she dots down where my back is torn, right? But I'm like, right here, my back is torn too. She was like, no, it's not. I'm like, what are you talking about? And you know how hard it is? I have a brachial plexus that never heals, by the way. It got better, but to bring my arm back and then feel the exact area, it's very hard when it's your upper back. I don't live with anyone else to keep pressing it for me. And I know for certain it's pulled there, but she's like, no, it's not. You know what I've noticed about doctors? The difference between, let's say, 20 years ago and now? I'm sure you'd agree with me, especially in Canada, like the hospital, where my last 2 visits there were 15 hours each. Think about that. It's 15 hours just to get into the main room. I found it with the physiotherapist the other day, and I find it with doctors. Okay, not my family doctor, but I would say most doctors. Remember the way they used to be? They'd sit down with you. They would care about you. They would approach you with love. I'm not saying every single doctor was like that, because they weren't. But that's the way they were until overpopulation and all this and whatever. I just find that people don't approach people with love anymore. And that's the problem in this world. So let's get to Mark. Let's get to Mark. I forget in which Gospels this is in exactly. I know it's in Matthew. I know it's in Mark. Luke or John, I don't know. I forget right now. Mark 4, verse 24. And I had to look, what does this mean exactly? I kind of knew, but you know, when the things you think are the simplest, sometimes there are things you have to relook at. Then he said to them, take heed what you hear, but the same measure you use, it'll be measured to you. Not that part. And to you who hear, more will be given. This is it. For whoever has, to him more will be given. But whoever doesn't have, even what he has will be taken away from him. What does that mean? I don't know. No. It means that, here's the basis of it. Those who are diligently searching out Yahweh, Jesus Christ, searching his word to find the truth in the scriptures, those kinds of people who are searching for that, what he has more, like, sorry, I gotta look at that again. So whoever has, which, okay, for instance, would be me or you, reading the scriptures, to him more will be given. Because we're searching out the kingdom first, right? He will just keep giving us revelation, more revelation, more revelation. And that's what this journey is. But whoever doesn't have, so if he has a little bit of knowledge, that knowledge will disappear and it will be taken away from him. Now, I don't know if that any of that pertains to the end times either. Because when that happens, right, everything will be taken away. So, what else did I want to do? I guess I'll just say a last word and then I'll show you the castle without trying to hurt my back, because I got to bring the computer and the camera. So give me a second. I'll tell you about it first. Boy, this is bad. Actually, not working out, not doing push-ups, I actually feel worse, to tell you the truth. I do push-ups, I do dips. Those are the ones that are probably setting, you know, not letting me heal. And that's what I found the last time when I tried to rest. This is the same thing that happened. Maybe it's the endorphins that I was able to build up. I don't know. But anyway, I got to ice it. I got to put heat on it. So what was I saying? Yeah, I did a thing here. I'll show you this too. I bought wood. Okay, I bought like 4x4 by, I don't know, 4x4 by, it was like 8. And I wanted to make legs for a table, and I'd never done it before, but I just felt like I could do it. And, you know, just by shaping it by hand, maybe some electric tools. I do have the electric tools, but I live in an apartment, and, you know, I'm housebound because of intractable pain, mostly. I still go out. But I bought a plywood table. You know, it was pretty expensive wood for a table. I bought 2 big pieces, and I started to make this. I started to shape it, and the dust, the sawdust, was like literally inflaming. It was like anyways, you know, dust, and especially sawdust, is worse than smoking. It's worse than smoking by far. Actually, go research that. Do it. No, but I started to do it, and you say wear a mask. Anyways, I just not going to do that. But I started this, and that's by no means done. This is more like it was getting its way there. I was going to make a ball, like a big ball down here, but I stopped doing that. I can't do that with my back now anyways. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do with the table? And I'm like, well, why don't I just buy some birch wood, like little wood crafting birch wood, really thin, but it's really, really tough. And so I'm like, well, I thought I was going to build a castle. I didn't copy anyone else. This is all by my mind. And I just decided to build and keep building and building and building. And just what I said to you for this, for people who are young and getting into this, like, just start doing something. Just start doing something. People have so much free time to be on electronics and social media. And what I'm speaking here, you're going to say, well, this is social media. This is different, and you know it. This is the word of Yahweh. This is teaching for a better life. This is different. I detest social media. I don't like it. I hate it, to tell you the truth. I think it's the devil. So I'm going to show it to you. I just kept building and building. I'm by no means done. And when I'm done, I would go around and correct all the cracks and all that type of stuff. But it was hard because getting birchwood, like you get like a sheet of tin and a piece of plastic like on Amazon, and some of them would be bent, and it's not easy to bend them back. So, you know, when you lay the floor or you cut pieces and you develop cracks and stuff. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm trying to make myself look good before I show it to you. So just give me a second here. I'm going to eat and then bring it over, say goodbye. And by the way, the place in my back that's torn is my, from what I know right now from the physiotherapist, and I do believe it. They're called your spinal erector spinae. So it's like your muscles that go up and like keep your spine in check. And there's 3 types of them, of your spinal erector muscles. One that goes straight up, one that kind of goes out, and one that goes out like that. So anyways, it's a huge muscle, and so I got to get better, and I need your prayers. Please pray for Allison. Prayers are more powerful than you can imagine. People mock that. They have no idea. Pray for my back to heal, please. So. I don't know how much you can see here, but and then I haven't cleaned the stuff. I have not cleaned anything on the table because that's where I work. So probably a crank call like usual. Okay. See if I can, what kind of angles I can do here. See my doors there? Got my doors. I'm not done that either. You can see all this here. I still have to do all of this, you know, like the bricks. I'm by no means done here. It's got like stairways. Those are like watchtowers. This right here is like a fighting pit, you know, like, you know, people with swords practicing. Got a stairway there. And you can see, see if I can get a better shot up here. I don't want to hold my computer because of my back, but I tell you not to lift anything, so. You can see that table there and a chair. That's like a knight's table. I'm not done that. But anyways, you get the point, eh? So starting to do the roof there with tiling. So there it is. Y'all bless everyone, and have a nice day. That's wood glue, Gorilla wood glue. I also use super glue, but there it is. Bless everybody.